Hello, welcome back to another video. Today we are going to continue this series. Can I make them OP?
As usual, lane first. And it looks like I got Rome again. What about the hero?
Since we done Franco, let me just remove it from the wheel before we spin for the next hero.
And for today's video, I got
Gatotkaca, otherwise known as Gatot. Well, this is going to be a real challenge.
the amount of time I use Gatot is,
Yeah, 0. Bear with me as I try to understand how to use it at the same time.
to be honest, this first match I'm really frustrated. Mage in goal lane while marksman in mid lane. Other than that, say hi to the turtle I guess who joined the fight.
Anyways, even though I've never really used Gatot before,
That's actually the fun part about this challenge.
normally I already have a few heroes that I always go back to.
So I rarely try something completely new. To be honest, I'm kind of a collector in Mobile Legends.
If the game gives me a free hero or a free skin,
I'll happily take it, but that doesn't mean I'll actually play that hero.
I have so many heroes sitting there collecting dust because
I just never had the courage to learn them. Honestly, if you played Mobile Legends a lot, you would know it is a toxic place.
that's why I like this challenge. It forces me to step out of my comfort zone and actually learn heroes that I normally would ignore. Maybe I'll discover a new main. Maybe I'll find a hero that I never want to touch again.
At least now I'll know.
Since Gatot is also a fighter, let's try putting him in EXP lane for a bit.
Since Marcel refused to change hero and everyone forced me to EXP lane,
To be honest, I know I'm going to die a lot in this one. Yeah, that one was my fault there. To be honest, I'm not intentionally feeding or trying to troll the game because I couldn't get Rome. I just genuinely don't know how to control Gatot's ultimate that well yet.
I'm still getting used to the timing, the range,
And trying to predict where the enemies are going to move. The problem is, once people see the ultimate coming, most players already know how to dodge it. They'll flicker away, dash out,
or simply walk out of the landing area before I even get there.
Just play safe.
So instead of catching 3 or 4 people like I imagined,
I end up jumping into an empty spot, or even worse, right into the middle of the enemy team by myself.
I think that's something I'll have to improve with practice. Maybe I need to be more patient and wait until the enemies have already used their mobility skills.
Or maybe I should follow up after someone else starts the fight, instead of always trying to engage first. That's what I love about doing this series.
It's not just about testing builds.
It's also about learning heroes I barely touch.
I know I'm going to make mistakes like this,
And there will probably be a lot more embarrassing moments before I get better.
but hopefully by the end of this challenge, I'll understand these heroes a lot more than I do now.
Probably.
Alright, so we finished testing the pro build. Now it's time for something a little different.
This next build is one that I put together myself.
I just want to say, this isn't me trying to prove that I'm smarter than pro players or that I discover some hidden overpower build. That's definitely not what this series is about. I'm still learning the game, and honestly, half the time, I'm just making educated guesses based on what I think the hero needs. When I was putting this build together, I was thinking about how I personally wanted the hero to feel. I wanted to see if I could make them a little tankier, a little more comfortable to play, or maybe survive long enough to actually make an impact in team fights. Whether that's the right way to build the hero, we're about to find out. The funny thing is, from the first match, I actually felt like I did better with this build than I did with the pro build. Now, before anyone starts typing in the comments, I'm not saying my build is better. One match isn't enough to prove anything. There are way too many things that can affect the outcome of a game.
Maybe the enemy team wasn't as strong.
Maybe my teammates play better. Maybe I got lucky. There are so many possibilities, so I'm not going to jump to conclusions after just one match.
I also think that's something people forget sometimes. Just because a build works amazingly for a professional
Player doesn't automatically mean it'll
be the best build for every player.
Pro players have incredible positioning, game sense, timing, and decision making. Sometimes they can make almost any build
look good simply because they're really good at the game.
For someone like me, who's still learning a lot of these heroes, maybe a slightly different build feels easier to play. Maybe having a bit more durability helps me survive my mistakes, or maybe the extra cooldown reduction lets me contribute more often. That's what I'm trying to figure out. That's why I don't want to judge a build based on one game. I want to test it in different matches, against different enemy lineups, and in different situations before I decide whether I actually like it or not. Maybe after 3 games, I'll completely change my mind. And of course, this is where I need your guys' help as well. If you've got a build that you think is even better than this one, or even better than the pro build, leave it in the comments. Well, that's the end of today's episode. From these matches, I actually performed better with my own build than the pro build. Does that mean it's better? I'm not too sure, but for my playstyle, it definitely felt more comfortable. What do you guys think? Which build would you choose? Or is there another build I should try? Let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Game on, always.